Today I'm going to compare Midjourney versus DALL-E 3 versus Stable Diffusion across a wide range of categories to determine which AI image generator performs the best. The categories I'll be comparing are animals, Vikings, illustration, video games, and the Roman Empire. Credit goes to the MS Power User website and Midjourney Prompts plus Tech Hala on X for providing the prompt examples. So for the first one, I'm going to ask to create a beautiful water buffalo running towards the camera, DSLR, kicking up dirt and dust, shrubs, motion blur, African background in a safari. Midjourney does an excellent job of interpreting the prompt. You can clearly see this water buffalo running towards the camera, looks very photorealistic, the dirt kicking up. This image in the bottom left, though, I'm not too sure about. It looks like some of the legs there are cut off. Overall, great performance by Midjourney. I'm using DALL-E 3 within Copilot, and you can clearly see DALL-E does a great job representing the image as well. And even in this one up here, you can see multiple water buffalo running behind the one that's the focus of the image. And here's Stable Diffusion. Again, very good output. This hoof here is turned up a little bit and some of the horns here aren't represented properly, but overall does an admirable job. I love how the sand looks and the trees in the background and some of the action going on in the background behind this water buffalo. Really photorealistic, and I love what Stable Diffusion has done here. For the next one, a fierce Viking warrior with blonde hair, blue eyes, bloodied and dirty from battle, holding a sword and axe amidst Nordic houses, depicting a grim environment. Here's what Midjourney put out. Definitely an interesting combination of images. This one in the bottom left, ultra realistic. You can clearly tell that it's interpreting the images really in all of them. This one on the right hand side is more of a cartoony look, but still depicts the prompt well, captures the housing in the background. What's interesting with DALL-E 3, when I tried to do this, I got this message here indicating that some of the words that I put down are being automatically blocked at this time. So I have to modify the prompt a little bit to see what it does. I ended up removing the word bloodied, and DALL-E 3 was able to go ahead and create the image, and you can see them all here. All of them look great. Still that graphic design feel. And what's interesting is even though I removed the word bloodied, in order to get DALL-E 3 to create the image, on its own it added blood to the Viking's face. Within Stable Diffusion, again, excellent output, created everything really well, interprets the image correctly, although it looks like there's a sword that's just flying out of nowhere in the image, but you can make the argument that's the Viking in the background throwing the sword. Overall, good results from all three. The next one is going to be an intricate illustration showcasing the physical attributes of a biomechanical woman, capturing detailed aspects of her mechanical and organic components in a visually compelling diagram. Stellar output by Midjourney, captures all of the prompt details extremely well. Although when I upscale one of them, you can clearly tell that the text that it's included is just gibberish. It's not exactly concise and legible, and it doesn't speak necessarily to what Midjourney is depicting, but overall I love the result. I love what DALL-E 3 has put out. It's extremely detailed, but not to the point of what Midjourney has put out. It has almost a Metropolis vibe to it, if you're familiar with that old school movie. And within Stable Diffusion, similar output to what Midjourney did, captures all of the details of the prompt, does great illustration, but once again, when it's upscaled and we look at the text, it's not really saying anything that's relevant. So for the next one, we got an SNES 16-bit screenshot, zoomed out full body scene of a large, thin woman with sunglasses sitting at the head of a table, serious pose. Overall, excellent output by Midjourney, interprets the prompt well. The one that stands out to me is the image on the bottom left. Looks most like what I was looking for, but ultimately all four images work really well. Here's what DALL-E 3 put together. Definitely an interesting image. Here's what Stable Diffusion put together. I really love this one because it really looks like you're playing an old school video game. Final Fight, or one of the old school ones on SNES that was very popular. Even when upscaled, it looks very good. A little bit of challenges with pixelating the face here, some of the ones on the left-hand side, but overall, this is one of my favorites. So the next one's going to be a lively market in ancient Rome with people bustling about, stalls with a variety of goods, in a warm atmosphere inspired by Leonardo da Vinci using oil painting techniques. This is Midjourney's result. Overall stellar output. Every image looks great, captures all of the prompts. Love how the Roman architecture is depicted. Looks exactly like a lively market. And it's what I would expect from Midjourney. Very similar result with DALL-E 3. Although when upscaling one of them, it's kind of difficult to see a lot of the patrons in the background. You can clearly tell that DALL-E 3 understands what it's supposed to do. Stable Diffusion does an admirable job. I would have liked to have seen better Roman architecture, but of course with some tweaking of this prompt, I'm sure we could probably get a better result. And that's the beauty of Stable Diffusion. You've got a few different models that you can leverage in order to get the results that you want. Overall, I believe Midjourney did the best job, but I also understand different AI image generators all have their strengths and opportunities depending on what the context of the image is. And of course, all of these images could be further refined by going ahead and tweaking the prompts again and again. Moving beyond images, OpenAI has announced their new AI video generator, which is blowing away the competition. I made a video about it, which you can watch here.